This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately. What's going on, freaks? If I gotta just jump right back in the saddle. Actually, I found a somebody sent me emails with like people on the scene where Suzanne Morphew's body was found, and so I did my technique, the one that Mag would have wanted to watch last night, and I found the location. And what will be interesting here is to check the satellite imagery. And okay, let's see. Hold on. So it's good in a way. Well, actually, it's not good because the satellite imagery in the area stops at what is it? There's no more satellite imagery in that location after September 2016. So I was hoping that it would be extended. Well, no. That's all you get. Let me make this smaller here. Dogs are in the bedroom. And thank you guys, everybody that was here earlier for Jennifer Hamrick. It was really cool reading all the comments. Oh, thanks Sandra Graham and Kathy Freidenmaker. All right, here we go. So this is old school stuff here. I'd use the same techniques that... Oh, there we go. All right. So let me show you this. It was cool. It was old school, reminded me of the, what case was that? Kylie Rodney, a little bit. How I found the location. Alright, so look at this, was a cool image. Like somebody gave me this image, and then there's a, it looks like red caution tape there, they were pointing at it. Okay, and then you look at the mountain range back there. And so, you know, I started off just kind of random. I knew it was at an intersection with a stop sign. So I'd be like in a place like this, maybe. Although, you know, I could already tell that wasn't it. But I was looking over at here at the mountain range. And I could see that this mountain range right there is the one. Even though there's snow on it. But look. See that? I mean, is that cool as hell or what? So you've got the... but then I was comparing the angle of the foreground mountains. And see right back here, up above right there, there's this little peak coming out. You can't quite see it in this one, but in here it actually, you see the other side and it goes down. You see that? See that right there? So right over here, it's the top of the peak and down, and this side has the trough and then up. You see that? So then I thought, okay, then that means it's to the left of here. You know, so I had to go to a whole bunch of intersections. I'm just speeding it up for you, right? So then I went that direction and found the next intersection. Watch this. You go down here. Does it have the obligatory stop sign? Yes, it does. And, you know, interestingly, it's missing these posts that are in the ground here. But I believe this is the correct location here, especially when you zoom back in over here now, and that's the same mountain range, and you pull up the image, this one right here, and watch this. I mean, that's like absolutely identical at that point. I mean, I'll make it, so look at that. I mean, is that insane or what, you guys? That's the beauty of having Google Earth. But look at that right there. You can see the right here, like I was explaining a minute ago, let's see, let me line it back up again. Right here, how it goes down and then up. Now you can see go down and up. So this is like in the exact spot, right? And there's the stop sign. But notice how there's 3 poles there. I don't see, so I might look again a little bit. But I don't know if they put those poles in at various times. And this street view is from 2018. And it's actually mile marker 103 on Highway 17. Right? But here's the stop sign. Then there's another piece of information on another video. So I guess we could look for that house. I haven't looked for that yet. Let's see. So if you were to zoom in there, I think that's probably the one. She's further down into the road though. But I think that that's probably that house right there in the background. Kind of has a generally similar shape right there. Alright, so then there's a third image here. This one. And here's there's a dead end sign there. Okay, now I think that's what we're looking at right there, right? As a matter of fact, I see the word, it looks like it actually says dead end on that sign, even though it's blurry, but just the general shapes. I'm pretty sure that's it. And also the fencing, there's like these little posts going down there. You kind of see that that's sort of what we got going on there. And then you look back there and it looks like generally the same mountain range. In fact, I can actually see this right there. See that little thing? And right there, that's the same place. And then also right there and there is right here. This is crazy. This is awesome. This is exactly what I like to do here. But you can see that, right? Right there. That shape and that shape. And then if I move it over, you got that one and right there and right there. And then everything else is exactly the same up in there. Ding, 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 ding. And now you'll hear some other channel use the same ding, 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 all that kind of stuff. Right. So anyways, this is where the crime scene is. And so now that we have verified that, even though it's missing the 3 poles, there isn't another, I mean, and it can't be this one because there's no junkyard in the background. And this one's too far over. And you'd see all these other houses and stuff. So it's 100% this location. So Road R there, I put the GPS locations in the description. Yeah, see, you know what's funny, you guys? Like what I just showed you and did right there, shows don't... and by the way, I'm going to make... Daryl, we need another guy. Yeah, a couple of the guys that I've made moderators have been gone, so we're gonna make Daryl Montgomery one. All right, there you go. But you know what's strange is, don't you think people on TV would want to see this? Like if you were watching television, wouldn't you want to see this kind of stuff? But they don't ever give you the time on television, right? They just don't do it. They just go like, yeah, get to the... I bet you people would love to sit there and see how that was worked through. The angle of the mountains in the background. Did you see how perfectly it lined up when I got in the right spot? And that's the only intersection right there. You turn around, there's a stop sign and a dead end sign, and it nails it. And that's how I actually found the location, and that's how you know you're in the right spot. But people on watching television, like if I was on Court TV, why couldn't I talk for 5 minutes and show that same thing, and it was over? I guarantee you they get all kinds of emails saying, wow, man, that was amazing. Holy shit, you know, blah, 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 instead of just the mundane thing over and over. You know, they don't let you, like, share your screen. You know what's funny is, like, if I'm using Zoom, I can actually share or even using Skype, I can share my screen on there. Why can't I do that? You know, it's bizarre. It's a bizarro world. Very weird, very weird. Yeah, it's strange, but that's how you do it. Well, that's how I do it. You know, I don't know if other people do what I do here. There are people that do it now, and one guy actually copied right in the middle of my show doing that same thing, and then made a video and goes, ooh, but we weren't correct at the very beginning, and then about an hour later we fixed it. So unfortunately, they watched the first part, posted it, then came back, and you know, then I got the exact location, even though I was close originally, but it was too late for them. And then when challenged on it, they deleted the video and claimed it was for some other reason. Yeah. So I don't mind people doing mapping, you know, but you know, do it. Don't just steal somebody's work. Yeah. So, anyways, it's going to be. I'm really bummed that this isn't historical data. Now, I'm wondering if you actually went out to one of the paid sites that you could, because what I wanted to do here is maybe take this image here and then compare it to, say, it'd be cool if you had one from 2019 or 2020, and then you have one from today. And then you could see, like just before she went missing, and then you could see where the ground was disturbed. It would actually be in this image here. Is that crazy? I mean, look how you can actually see the road, and the body would only fit into that area. Yeah, they do it all the time, Miss Tandy. Sometimes they just copy exactly what I did. Especially like Kylie Rodney was an eye-opener for the scum of the earth YouTubers. Yeah, it was amazing. It was just, you know, two things in that case. I figured out where her car was in the water off of Google Earth. Then I using a fire camera video. That was probably the best sort of sleuthing thing that I've ever done on YouTube. There was a fire camera video filming the actual lake where Kylie Rodney's vehicle went into the water, and it was at night. And then I went back earlier in the day and took a clear shot of the same image and then overlaid the nighttime video on top of the still image because it's still. And you see and I made it transparent, the darkness, and you see her car go right into the water, fade out, and sink. Amazingly, not one news outlet or anybody ever played that, but it's on YouTube, and it was real, and it really shows it, and it went into the water exactly when her phone died. Yeah. So, anyways, look at where she was. It was exactly where they said it was. Moffat, the area of Moffat right here, and it was south. Okay, so it wasn't, you know, these other mile markers. I think it was mile marker 113 on 17 and 113 on this highway. It's actually the other side. So it's right here. That's not it. That's one of the spots I thought maybe it was going to be. These were my first two attempts at locations here. I don't need to have those anymore. Yeah, she was awesome. Thanks, Jody. I mean, we've had 3 moderators pass away in the last 4 years or so. And they were all awesome. Stephen Bashir's was cool. Sassmere was awesome. Love you, Gray. Remember how awesome? I mean, she was... She'd call in with that accent, and then we'd always go, hey, you need to call in when so-and-so, because there was somebody else that sounded just like her. And then Jen H. I knew her better than somebody. You know, I talked to Sassmere before, too, though. Sassmere. Yeah. So I'm just going to get rid of all these, because they don't mean anything anymore. Yeah, but anyways, I was able to narrow it down. So if you just got here late, it's not just narrowed down. We have the right location now. So if you go right here, and using the mountain range on the other side, I knew it was this side because of the height in some of the images. And you look at this picture right here. Let's just zoom in right there like that. And then take this picture and you'll just be like, oh yeah. I mean, it's literally, you could lay it over the top. See that? And that's how you do it, everybody. That's how you do it. I mean, that is literally exactly the same. Every single element is exactly the same. So knowing that, and there's a stop sign right there, and in this video you zoom out and you turn around, there's a stop sign, and that means she's standing on the left side of the road. That means it's over here. So the crime scene is likely somewhere right around in like this area, something like right in there. Okay, that's it. And because the yellow tape was there, and then also here's another image. There's the dead end sign, and that sign is. Wait, did I go down the wrong road? I think I went down the wrong road right there. Sorry about that. It was the other direction. Sorry. It's right here. So there's a crime scene somewhere right in there. And then from here, if you look down the road, you can see down here that there is a dead end sign. And that image is one that was in this picture right here, so you can see it there. And then she was talking in her video. They filmed tape. I'm pretty sure. So using the lenses that they use, this house right there is going to be this house back there. Likely. I mean, it's all there's. Well. Was that one? I don't think it was that one. But you know, actually, now that I look at that, that actually could be the one. Let me look for a second. Here, let me try something here. Maybe we can sort of triangulate this thing. Yeah, they just drove over. It reminds me of Chase Merritt, man. Just right out in the desert, digs a whole shallow grave, puts the bodies in it. You know, probably. I bet you was in the middle of the night. Guess what? Doesn't 3:30, 4 in the morning sound about right? Where you could see for miles if anybody was coming. And I wouldn't be surprised if on another night, I'd like to know where Morphew's phone was the night before. I guess we have that somewhere. But maybe he turned his phone off the night before too. But it also makes sense. He turned his phone off between like 4 and 8 in the morning. So he likely just drove straight out here, started digging on a remote road like that. There's probably very few cars driving around. And there you go. Allegedly. I'm not saying that Barry Morphew did it, but my opinion is that very likely he has something to do with it. Oh no, it's over here. Weird. Okay. Hold on, I think that's right. Let's see. Yeah, so the image of her photograph is like that. So I think where she is she's standing, I don't know if you can see me or not, but I think she's standing over by the dead end sign, and they're taking a picture back this direction like that. And you'll be able to see this. So doesn't that look about right? See how, let me zoom in a little bit here. See, I think that right here is this, and then notice how it comes up to that same peak, and then it drops down like right there, and then you can even see that sort of blurry behind there. So I'm pretty sure that that's it right there. So that means the shot that she's taken, so it's, you know, slightly different angle, but it's going to be down there at the dead end sign facing back in that direction over there. Then you avoid having the telephone lines and everything. So that means she's standing down there. And then, I mean, there's video of it, but I can't play some of these. It was on YouTube, like with the actual news channel. So there you go, man. I think that's it. Let me see if we can see the dead end sign with the shadow here. Is it near the, so there's that little, I can actually see that. That's this right here, the cow tracks or whatever you call them. And that means this is before that, because it's way bigger. So that means the dead end sign. So there's that. Dead end sign was probably be relatively soon in there. Might not be able to see it, but you can see a shadow a lot of times. So that means you can see the shadow right here is directly, let's see, west to east on here. So that means if we go over here and there's the dead end sign is there, we should be able to see it. Should be east of this cow grate. And yeah, you can kind of see the stop sign one. Kind of blurry though. Let me see if I go back to another time. Okay, and then this one is, it looks like the shadows are heading north. And so if we go here, looks like that's probably the stop sign. And if it's on this side, maybe tough to see because it would be in the middle of the bushes there. So I guess we don't really get to know that. I don't know what that is right there. I mean, I guess that could be it. This is one of those times you needed the drunk Google Earth driver. Anyways, I mean, other than me finding the location, I don't have any other, thank you for the people sending me the video that gave me the visual references to be able to tell. Because that's all I need, just a little something, man. Something in the background. Most of you probably weren't around, but probably the second best sleuthing thing that I ever did was there's a YouTuber that was pretty much a criminal, right? So he was on the run, hiding from law enforcement in Indiana. And he was on the run out there. And, so it's from Indiana. And he was live streaming but filming the ground in a really sunny place, right? It was like really sunny. So you think, okay, Florida or, it could be, anywhere that was really sunny. And I think the time of year it wouldn't have been sunny in a lot of places. So it was like, okay, probably Florida. And then at 1 second, he panned the camera up for literally a second. And in the background, ironically, there's a police officer and a vehicle that you could barely make out, but I could see the shape of the design on the car. So then I typed in police vehicles in Florida, went through all of them, and then found that exact logo. So now I knew the city, right? Then on the ground in the video that he took, there was these bricks making a design on the ground. So I went through the city and found all the spots and put a pin where each those bricks had that same design. And then I found, I mean, I literally, it was so crazy. I found the exact brick he was standing on in a city in like an hour and a half. And Truth Sleuth, if she was in here, she was like following along as I was doing it. It was absolutely crazy. It was like something, like if you were in the CIA, you'd get a medal for finding somebody. It was like, it was crazy. Yeah. And he goes, he almost got it right. Yeah, bullshit, man. I had you right on the right brick. Yeah. The barrel. Which one was the barrel? I don't remember that one. Yeah, Daryl, I'll catch right up. Just don't live stream. Yeah, that was pretty crazy, man. Yeah. It was fun, too. And there was other elements, too. For example, the girl that he was dating at the time posted a picture of a tree in Florida, I guess. And it was really exotic looking, but it looked really old. So I typed in old trees and it was actually the town, St. Petersburg, I think, because I already knew where the town was. And there it was, man. The tree was right there. As a matter of fact, I think if you typed it in again, let's see, if I went old tree in St. Petersburg, Florida. Yeah, and that's the one right here. I mean, it was absolutely nuts. This tree right here is the picture of the tree. Something, I think it was that one anyway. That was on the girlfriend's Facebook page. So then I knew, oh, he's visiting her in Florida. And then I just kind of kept narrowing it down. I knew I was on the right track, and then boom, found it. So that was fun. So what do you guys think of this? I mean, to me, it points to him even more. That at 4 in the morning, he turns off his cell phone, and then that's exactly, it would take 30 minutes to get there. 4:30 in the morning, you're out there and you're shoveling a hole. Now, he could have gone there on another night that he turned off his phone or something and dug a hole, because that's what a smart criminal would do. Because you wouldn't want to have a body and digging a hole. What are you doing, sir? Don't mind the feet sticking out of the trunk here, right? Yeah, so what you do is like Chase Merritt, he dug a hole the day before, or 2 days before. Then he came out and buried the bodies. Yeah. All right, let's see. Yeah, I don't think this helps him at all. Not at all. Not sure. I got a message. I got Originally it said it could have been written over, but makes it... I don't know what that means. Oh, the car data? I don't know. Yeah, no, that's bullcrap. It could have been written over, right? Like, yes, everybody, car data might be written over. But why? What are the odds, though, it gets written over exactly during the time that Suzanne Morphew goes missing? Not Susanna. What do you think the odds of that are? And you know what's even more crazy, guys? Look where I circled yesterday. I mean, I might as well have just went almost exactly in the middle. I mean, this is like right there. Oh, shoot. But all it was south, and we circled an area. But, man, that was pretty close, though, right? You almost zoomed right into the middle there. It was. And I remember correctly that he blamed a mountain. Oh, yes, that's what he did. Must have been a mountain lion. Yeah, make sure to hit that subscribe button, you guys, if you're out there, and the like button for sure. We've only got 221 likes out of 808. And by the way, when there's cases like this, I don't want you to go, hey, Gray, I did the same thing. Look at this. We're right in the middle of me doing it, because it takes away all the fun. So if I'm looking, now that I've showed you kind of what I do and stuff like that, if you want to do it on your own, that's great, but I don't want you interrupting the show, sending me, oh, look at, I found this one part. It was because when I'm doing the show, it's not fun at all if I'm not able to do those things. I like to find it myself. Oh, yeah, well, of course it fits in the timeline. There's from 4 to 8, his phone was turned off. That's a perfect time and she went missing. And when she went missing, she was killed probably immediately, or she was already dead. And she was buried, so it fits right into the timeline, because she went missing during that time. What is S cold case, I'm assuming? Nobody knows what that means. You think he moved her many times? I don't know about that. That'd be crazy to be driving around, moving bodies over and over again. I do. I think she was there the whole time, yeah. I bet you law enforcement does too. It's out in the middle of nowhere. NM what? I don't know what that means. How come you're shaking your head, Kelly, and then never mind the next one, and I don't even know what you're talking about. Now I have to go up and read. What did the YouTuber do? Oh, what does it matter what he did? He's a criminal. Didn't pay child support, abusive, very, I don't know what you want to call it, but he... I'm just wondering why that was such an important thing to know about. Let's see. At one time, he had an ankle monitor that didn't work. So he only had to go to check in once a day. Yeah, this is exactly the same way that... there was a whole bunch of different things. It wasn't just... ask Cold Truth if you want to have the answer. Yeah, that was like later in the day. He was at that hotel. Remember that with bleach and everything? Maybe he used the hotel to clean off items of himself, but she was never there. All stuff with the hotel and the pool. Yeah, huh? Dropping stuff at other dumpsters. See, I think that was when he was throwing stuff away after the killing. See, my thing is this makes more sense that I mean, look at how this works out right here. We'll just do that part again. Here's the house. You immediately drive down like this. Down Highway 285. Come all the way down here. Still on 285. Then right here you fork off on the 217. And then drive down here and bury her body somewhere right off of the road here, but in the middle of the dark at 4 to 6 in the morning or something. Then he drives back up like this, and then at about 8 o'clock he turns his phone back on, and the hotel that he was at, I think was, where the hell was that? I think it was in the same town, if I remember right. No, wait, God, where was it? Was it up here? Oh yeah, right over here, the Holiday Inn Express. So it's not really that far away. So from up here, I guess it is pretty far. He's up here, and then, you know, 2 hours later. Does that work? Let me just measure the distance. So you just kind of go like that, and it's about 150 miles away, right? So that'd be like 2.5 hours. So if he drove down here in, 4, gets down there at 4:30, digs a really quick shallow grave in 30 minutes or so, throws her in there, covers her up, and then at 5 o'clock, maybe 5:30, let's say, drives, and then at 8 o'clock, he makes his way back up to the Holiday Inn Express with the dumpsters and everything right there at 8 o'clock, and then his phone turns back on. Does that fit the data that's out there? No, her bike was found right next to her house. I mean, if you want to call it a forest, I mean, her bike was found, so her house is right here, and then right here, like you're driving up this little, whatever, road 225, and her bike was just found right off the side of the road right there. And then, look how perfectly this works. She's right there. Bike is found there. Make it look like she's abducted or something. Then her helmet's right here. Then her phone pings. And by the way, what time did that phone... Look at that. Look at this, you guys. I mean, this is so perfect, right? Her phone pings here at 4:23. So this is when she's already dead, you guys. Her phone pings at 4:23 right there, and matching it almost exactly. I forgot about this part. What I just told you a minute ago. So at this moment, 4:23, and then they said it takes, I bet it's another 20 minutes. Let's just measure that a little bit. Just really roughly like that, and then that's 40, it's actually 41 miles, so that would probably take 40 minutes. So let's say that was 4:23 here. So at 5 o'clock, he would get to that location. And this is almost adding up perfectly here. 5 o'clock, gets to this location, pulls in, digs a makeshift, just a really, like a shallow grave. It doesn't take long at all. And let's say you're done with this shallow grave by 5:30, 5:35, something. You put her in there, throw her in there, cover her with dirt really fast. Just quickly, ding, 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 ding. Maybe put some bushes around, then boom, you take off. You're out of there by 5:45, 6 or so, and then drive 2 hours or so to get up to this area where the cell phone gets turned back on again. Once he gets into not that area, where the hell was that? That's a different case there. We got so many of them. So ping there. No, it's up here. Yeah. So I think that makes sense mathematically. Let's look at something really quick, because I do have that cell phone data information from the other night. Let's see what happens. Yeah, look at this. On the 10th right here, 4:23, Suzanne Morphew's last ping. Okay, we have that location. Then, you know, the phone's off though. See, there's no GPS location or anything. So Brian Morphew's phone is on at 3:56. At 4:10, listen to this. Brian Morphew admits he put it into airplane mode. Then at 4:15, he admits airplane mode and running around like his property with a gun, he says. God, this is crazy. How far is it from here? Does it make sense that he could get from here to there? How many miles is that? In like 8 minutes. No, right here. So that is, yes, 8 miles. So you could easily get there. 410, Brian, you know, Barry Morphew, God, I was going to say Brian Koberger, admits airplane mode and running around. Then at 4:23, her phone last pings the location with a tower near the Morphew residence. So it might not be where I have the pin, but it's down the road probably a little bit. Then at 4:30, Brian Morphew's day at work. That's what he says. He's at work now. Then at 4:32, airplane mode on. Can't make or receive calls. 4:42, he's also in airplane mode. 5 o'clock, he's in airplane mode. Let's see. Then what I really want to know is get down to this area here. Hold on a second. Hey, thank you. Yes, a map fund would be awesome. And I appreciate everybody earlier, but we're definitely going to be starting up the let's see, Fallen Freaks scholarship fund this month, and we're just going to get it all started. Maybe I'll make a bigger donation into that this month. And we still got to put like 3,000 into Identifinders International because we just picked up another case there. Yeah. Well, the case is kind of simple. It was, well, not really, but Suzanne Morphew and Barry Morphew were... Here, I'll give you the really quick story here. They lived right here in this house. And then on Mother's Day, I can't remember if it's Mother's Day late at night or Mother's Day early in the morning. But she goes missing. And there's stories like, oh yeah, she went on a bike ride or something. Then they find her bike right here. And Barry Morphew, a YouTuber, actually interviewed him and stuff. And he was like, oh yeah, maybe cougars. And so her bike was right there, and he was complaining about the investigation and everything. Then her helmet was found right here, and then her phone pinged somewhere out here as well. And she went missing. And then the husband almost immediately offered a $250,000 reward, which is very suspect to me. Then, let's see. Then he was brought up on charges eventually, finally. And then all charges were dropped because some of the key evidence wasn't admissible because of the way they gathered it. So it doesn't mean he was innocent when he was... I think he was almost nuts that he went for a $12 million lawsuit. Hey, thanks, Christy Kazi, Olivia, Rebecca Blum. I think it's almost nuts that he did a $12 million lawsuit because in that civil suit, you could bring up all of the evidence like with almost nothing off limits in that one. Yeah. But he wanted to make it seem like he was so sure. They're never going to find her, everybody. Oh, shit. Now he wishes he took that lawsuit back. Hey, thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. I think what I'm going to do because of your guys' generosity today and regarding Jen, I'm going to put $1,000 into our scholarship fund to start it off. then I got to send 3,000 into identifinders, and we'll see how it goes at the end of the month to see if there's anything left over to give to, you know, it was kind of a slow month when I went to Indiana. So I think that would be a good way to get it started. He also wanted it that it would be dropped with, yeah, he wanted prejudice, but nope, it was without. Somewhere over the rainbow? Yeah. Okay, so here, and we got to figure out how it works, though. But I you know, maybe I'll make it just a call to, I don't know. You know, somebody had a really good idea in an email. I think it was, I can't remember, who was that? Hold on. She said, I think it was Tammy Morell, actually. She said, let's see. What about the scholarship going to a kid who lost one or both parents to a violent crime? You know, like Crystal Rogers kids, or, you know, but it doesn't have to be them. It could be anybody. I thought that was a pretty damn good idea, to be honest with you. Now, I don't think it has to be somebody famous. You know, we could just figure out a way to how to find out who that is. You don't think that's a pretty good one there? Hey, thanks, Mike S. Yeah, I thought that was great. It was perfect. I mean, just absolutely perfect. Really. Especially, I think it should be lesser known victims, because the really popular ones, they get hundreds of thousands of dollars from people, but there's people out there that have nothing. So it'd be cool to find a family like that. You know, maybe a mother who's, you know, doesn't have, you know, the father was killed or something. You know, who knows? I'm not sure. It'd be so cool if there was like a repository place where you just kind of could get the information. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't have to. I don't really want it to be somebody known, like a really popular case. You know, like, oh yay, we get, you know. It's just there's so many other people that didn't get the notoriety in their case, so there's no funds coming in, and they're just struggling. Yeah. So let's take a look at this again. So this is, oh yeah, so I was explaining to you that, yeah, so she went missing, and then Barry Morphew got brought up on charges, and then they had to drop the charges, and then he sued about it. His kids think he's just awesome, you know, great. No chance he had anything to do with it, except for the fact that Suzanne Morphew was dating somebody else. She was leaving him, and there's all kinds of information about the movements inside the house right before she went missing, and it just, you know, whatever got dropped and wasn't allowed, that sucks. I don't know what part that was. Well, thanks, Cherokee Girl 147. You know, some people don't think that. Are you talking about Barry Morphew, Zozo? Yeah, the kids. Oh, yeah, the two children, yeah. Hope they finally get it at one point, you know? That's not a bad idea either, Mary. I was just kind of, I mean, that would sort of fit into the Gen H thing, but she was, you know, our channel's about true crime, and she was into that. So I think that'd be a cool way to honor her, you know? I don't know if she, you know, that's interesting. I don't know if she had kids or not. I don't think so, as a matter of fact. That's weird. I never actually talked about that. We were always just talking about trying to figure out, like, she'd tell me what she was doing to battle it, and it was kind of interesting stuff. And, you know, sometimes we just talked about the show and whatnot. That's what I mean. See, like, I mean, even in those conversations, she is more like, hey, what's going on, you know? Yeah, I was thinking of that one too, Christy Kazi, but I was even thinking about writing an essay and all that. Hey, cool. Miles to go. Thank you. And so they've actually found her body after all this time. They found her body like a week ago, and they just identified her. You know what's crazy? They identified her because of there was one other thing in her cancer port that she had. How crazy is that, huh? Maybe we can let's listen to the those videos. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. Let's just listen to this one.
Tonight, we're learning more about the discovery of the remains of Suzanne Morphew, the Salida mom who went missing on Mother's Day of 2020. The Colorado Bureau of Investigation announced it had discovered her remains near the town of Moffat.
That's about 2 hours southwest of Colorado Springs and not far from Sand Dunes National Park in Saguache County. Cardioid News Channel 13's Annabelle Childers is live in Moffat at the area. Locals believe that discovery happened. Annabelle?
We are right off Highway 17 in Moffat, surrounded by bits and pieces of caution tape, and you can see 2 pieces right there tied to these plants. Now, the Colorado Bureau of Investigation will not confirm that this is exactly where Suzanne Morphew's remains were found, but several locals, including the Moffat fire chief, believe it is because they say they saw investigators here for multiple days.
They saw investigators there for many days, so it is the spot. Okay.
Over the weekend.
It's not what we want to be known for. Yeah, and so it's
like that.
It's a mixed bag.
Through nervous laughter, Jane's reflecting on all the attention
There's the crime scene
on
tape.
her small town. Over the weekend, the Colorado Bureau of Investigation discovered 2 bodies in Moffat while searching for a different missing woman. And shocking the nation, they announced they found the remains of Suzanne Morphew, the Salida mom missing since 2020.
I was relieved that they finally found her.
What's that one over there?
Maybe they can resolve who the culprit finally found her, and maybe they can resolve who the culprit was.
The Moffat fire chief and multiple locals believe they saw CBI crews working to recover her. They say they saw multiple law enforcement vehicles in this area for about 3 to 4 days, and while driving to work, they saw one person waist deep in the ground working. And another resident who works at a Dollar General in Moffat says she saw a helicopter flying above this area on Saturday in a, quote, grid pattern. Jane says she's been following the disappearance of Suzanne closely and actually ran into her multiple times in Salida before she went missing. She believes this discovery is one more step toward the truth.
Some resolve, some closure with it for everybody.
Wow, Jody, jeez.
Again, it's unclear if this is the exact site where Suzanne Morphew's remains were found. We reached out to CBI today, but they say they will not provide any more information at this time. Reporting live in Moffat, Annabelle Childers,
That's like a 6 times cat eye.
To support the new FFSF-20 Love the Freaks.
FFSF. Maybe we should have a date after it, like FFSF20. Nah, forget it. I think that's perfect. Well, thank you. Very cool. Maybe we'll make it more. We'll see how it goes. We got our last night of the month where there's a push for the last night of the month. And hell, maybe we'll put more in there. Who knows? Well, you don't need to. I want it to just sort of be the way it is, because it's hard to to it's just going to be, I'm going to replace, like, and you know, instead of giving as much to the various charities out of there, I'm going to redirect a portion of it where it's not, there's no going to be no tax benefit for me, but we're just going to direct it there instead, you know. So, you know, like last 2 years we've given 10,000 each to NICMAC, Texas Equisearch, and Rain. So maybe now they get 8, 8, and 8, and then the other 6 goes to the scholarship fund, or you know, something like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Although I don't know, maybe we could make it where. I don't know. What do you guys think? Maybe we could do something where, you know, every once in a while we have sort of a drive to make it bigger. I don't know. It's just, I'm not trying to figure out how that would work. I mean, we already, like last year we gave 62,000 to charities. Why couldn't a big chunk of that be going to this scholarship fund? And we still do amazing, like I don't want to take any away from Identifinders, but you know, maybe some of the other places don't need to have exactly the same amount. We need to help some people out there, so. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Like the Gen H kindness. I actually think of it like all of them. Sasmere and Stephen Bashir are really nice people. So it's just sort of like the Freaks. The Freaks kindness. And it's going to be called the Fallen Freaks Scholarship Fund. So, you know, we'll just keep putting money, like every month I'll put money into it, and at a certain point we'll figure out how we're actually going to administer it, but you'll all see the numbers on the screen, and then when we finally send it out to people, you'll see it be taken out of there. I think most of the freaks that are been here all this time trust me, know what I'm doing. I'm not like I don't steal or anything like that. It's you know, it's weird how there's people out there that think, oh God, he's out there, he's scamming people, he's doing, and it's just the biggest load of shit that I've ever seen. Okay, I don't think there's ever been somebody more open, and I say it every single time on here, how the show works. But there might be a time where we just do, like if we feel like, wow, this is really cool, we can just do a huge fundraiser or something just for that, where you would send in money through PayPal or something, and then you'll see that I'll put it into the same fund, load it up in there, and then it's a bigger number, and none of it gets taken out of YouTube and all that. But currently, I was just thinking of taking it out of what we already do here. So there you go. Hey, thanks, Lexala. Best info here, period. Yeah. So this is really interesting to me, you guys. So let's try to do something here mathematically to see how this works. Okay, so he's already at the hotel though. Okay, so this sort of changed. His phone is in airplane mode off. Then at 7:34 he arrives in Broomfield. So is that town? So maybe this, let's see if this works. Where's Broomfield? No, he's over here. That's right. That's where the Holiday Inn is. Okay, so what we're going to do here is thank you, Lexla. Hey, but thanks very much again there to Jody Williams. Very cool. All right. So that's that location, right? So I'm going to get the directions here. And then we're going to go right all the way down to where her body was found and see if this makes sense mathematically. Because it might not. You know, might not. So I'm going to take this spot and put that in here. Is it going to work? Oh, it worked. Okay. And that has a time of... Oh, jeez. So that causes problems. Maybe that's why they're confused. Because that takes 3 hours and 24 minutes. So that would mean at 4... I mean, that doesn't work very good there. So that's 3 hours and 24 minutes from the crime scene to Bloom... Well, I guess we have to work out if he's leaving at 4:23 and he gets there at... And he's already... Let's say he's already dug the grave. We're going to have to do two different things. Okay. So somebody write this down over there somewhere, right? Write down 3 hours and 24 minutes. Okay? Do that. And then I'm going to do one where... Let me clear this one. 3 hours and 24 minutes. Or I'll do it. 3:24. Alright. Dozo did it. And then let's go from the house. Let's just go from right here. And put the... Okay, then go down to here again. Kind of makes you wonder if there was another person involved in this. The conspiracy. They're just looking for that person. Okay, and that one's 52 minutes. So that makes that 4 hours and 14 minutes. That would be if there was nothing in the middle. So his phone goes off at 3:56. No, it's still on. And then at 4:10 it goes in. So 4 hours and 15 minutes would make that 8:25. And then he's already back in... He's in Bloomfield at 7:34. So mathematically that doesn't work. So I mean, maybe your idea is correct that he was that she was moved, or you know, I mean, there's a whole bunch of ors here now. Man, that sucks. That would have been cool if that. So now they have more questions. That doesn't say that here. Oh, wait. States... Oh, there you go. I think it does say... Brian Morphew states he last sees Suzanne at 5, he says. And who's M? Morgan? Is Morgan one of his kids' names? Who's Morgan? I don't know who Morgan is. Oh, that must be a neighbor. So at 5 he said, okay, wow, so 5 o'clock. How the hell would he... Yeah. So then it opens the door that her body was put there later. If he did it, he had to have put her there at a different time. Oh, you think it was a previous night? But what about all the movement that was going around in the house that they had logged in? Was Morgan a neighbor though? I mean, oh no, I guess not. Yeah, but he saw his wife at 5, and then Morgan says she heard the truck at 5. How could they both hear it at 5? Yeah, but does a coworker live right next to him or what? Okay, you guys don't need to keep repeating the same thing over and over and over again. We're past the who Morgan is. Okay. Oh my God, Jesus. Oh my God, you guys. So she must have lived right next to him. What do you mean clean up Saturday night? I don't know, man. I didn't really want to start from scratch today. I just wanted to show you guys where the crime scene was. Okay, so if Morgan didn't live near Barry, how did she hear his truck at 5? So I guess she could have heard... It's a lie that Barry saw Suzanne at 5. So that means an employee heard the truck at 5. Okay. So you could almost cancel out what Barry said here, because that's not going to be true. Barry's truck was seen passing video surveillance on Highway 50 right near the junction with Highway 285, and then again just north. Okay, so he is... This window here does not work at all for him putting Suzanne's body where it was located. Okay, so it had to have been a different time frame. I mean, what was going on just before that? Let's see. So we go. So that's 10 o'clock, 10:20, then midnight, and then 3:25. When asked about working on Sunday, stated it's Mother's Day. It's not like it's Husband Day. Okay, then 3:25. Barry Morphew, truck 80 event log. The Ford registered 0 miles per hour. Door opened and closed multiple times. 80 events during this time frame. Wow. So, like, there's 3 hours and 25 minutes missing right there. But it doesn't say that he put his phone in airplane mode. Then, door closed, parking light off. Door closed, parking light off. Started saving, finished saving, door open. So this truck doesn't have GPS info. Door closed, parking lot off. Huh. Well, this is interesting, this 3 hours and 25 minutes right there. But wouldn't his phone have showed that it was in airplane mode? Or did he just leave his phone at home that time and it was on? That's an intriguing 3 hours and 25 minutes. Because then he could have driven all the way home. What do you think of that? What do you guys think about that part? Why not, Zozo? I can't focus. Okay, well, maybe another time then. All right. Her bedroom door frame was broken. Oh, there's 4 hours right there. And I don't know what, when they say Brian Morphew comment about Mother's Day. So this 12 here doesn't mean a damn thing. I'm not sure why it's written there. So it's really from 22. So let's see where this is. Hold on a second. Where was his phone at on May 9th? It should be right at their house, I would imagine. And yes, it's right outside the house right there. See that? So that was at 10:21 on the 9th. And then there's something about a comment about investigators review 5:13 when asked about working on Sunday, stated it's Mother's Day. It's not like, I don't know why they put this time here. That should just be eliminated. It has nothing to do with anything. So what you have is 10:30 and then 3:25. Right? Actually, yeah, 3:25 right there. So that's a good almost 5 hours right there. What do you mean no one can read those telematics? What do you mean, what is that on the screen? We went over it yesterday. It's a phone log, you know, where his phone was, and car information on the 9th and 10th. So look at that. That's 5 hours, and then he's doing things here with his door, just like it was in the Murdoch case. Same kind of stuff here. This is probably from the CAS system. It's almost identical to that. And then at 3:48, there's another 80 events that went on. Parking lots off, started saving, I don't know what that means. Finished saving, door open, parking lot, lights on. So he's in, parking lot's off at 3:48:48. The door opens like 16 seconds later. 1 second later, the parking lights are on. Then at 3:56, his phone is on. So I don't know if it was already still on. Does that mean he turned it on? Barry's phone display came on as his device was unlocked. Ooh, see, that is interesting, right? So that means at 3:56, it was turned back on again, which means that it was off the whole time from 22/21/18, and then it was turned on again at 3:56. So 5.5 hours later, his phone turns on. But isn't this when people think he was running around the house? And then it was on, right? And then he turned it off again. And then we're missing this whole chunk of time here. So what does that mean? So he was doing stuff around the house. Maybe this is when he's putting the bike and the helmet and stuff like that. And then later he drives into town and starts trying to get rid of stuff in town, much like the Fotis Doulos case. Notice how we have so many things to bring in because we've covered so many. What do you think of that? That's crazy right there. His phone is turned on at 3:56. That's likely after he's already... I mean, because all these things here, I guess there's no GPS location on his vehicle, right? Couldn't these things here be him? I guess that would be... So it was on at 3:56. And I guess where was he when... Let's see if there's a GPS location on that. There isn't one. Oh, man, that would be incredible to get... If that GPS location was somewhere else... See, door closed, door open, 3:32. So that all has GPS location in it. So I think it's right here. I think I just lost where I was. 2211. Yeah, right in this spot. So his phone is located, and these are at his house. And see, this makes sense, you guys, that right here, in this time frame, right here, is when her body was dumped and he came back home. It could have been put right where it was. It would give him a whole bunch of time. Because remember, it was only 50 minutes to get to the crime scene. So 50 minutes back, that's like 2 hours. But right here, we're missing 4 hours. So easy enough time to get there, dig even a hole, put her in it. Then he comes home, and let's see. Right here that says there's 80 events logged. So who knows what was going on there? I'd like to know, was he driving during that time? You just don't have the GPS information. I'm gonna put a red. I'm gonna make this red right here. I mean, I might be totally off, but this is about the only thing here. You think so? Hey, look at that. It's Joshua Long. What's going on, man? Yeah, jeez. Yeah, talk to Jeff, everybody. Oh, yeah, good old Jeff out there. Yeah. Yeah, it could be a serial killer. I mean, I mentioned that yesterday. Who the hell knows? I mean, they're out there looking for another missing person and stumble upon a body. That's a little weird. So, but can you explain everything that's on there? Some questions. Look how dumb this comment is. Still trying to make it fit, Barry? Talk to Jeff and find out about... Okay, hey Jeff, let me know, man. I'm not sure what Jeff I'm talking to. There's literally 6 million Jeffs in the United States. And that was a guess. So if you look it up and there's 6 million, I'm going to start a psychic channel. I don't know who Jeff is. That's what you get when crazy people show up and they just throw stuff out. Hope people care. I think had dementia and... Right. Barry had to have... Is Barry Puckett the guy that was in the hotel? I mean, Jeff Puckett. I know, I think this is where it is right here. Sassy Cat, look at it. At 22:21, which is 10:21 in the evening on the 9th, he's then, you know, like there's nothing going on until 3:25 where there's 80 events logged, and then the door closes, and this is going to be when, let's see where this is. Do we already do this location? Is that the 79? No, that's, all right. Looks like it's going to likely be in the same spot. Yeah, let's see. Ooh. A little different location. No, it's at there again. It's right at the house again. Just a little bit further down the driveway. Okay, let's see what the next one is. Does it show that he's returning? See, this will be interesting. All right, guys. So here's some stuff going on. Is the next one going to be over here, or is it over here? If it's over here, that means likely his vehicle is returning. If indeed that's what we're looking at. Let's see. Yeah, it says it's a car information. So that looks the same, and that's the same. So that's exact. The parking lights are off. That means the car's sitting still. These are all the same. Door open. And where's the next time that it moves? These are all exactly the same here. Let's see what it says at 11 here. Alright, so at this time, he's over in this area with his vehicle. And then it moved to right around here at 3:25. So that was at 10:21 is where I have it right here. And then 4 hours later, it's right here doing something. That's weird shit, man. I think we're gonna have to like do a deeper sort of analysis now. I mean, I know there are people probably tried doing something like that, but the Ford 0 miles an hour with GPS at Morphew's residence as the door opened and closed multiple times. Hoyland noted over 80 events during this timeline. And then 39 seconds later, the door closed, parking lots off. It's pretty interesting. All right, well, I gotta get on to doing something else for tonight. I'm trying to get my office up and running. Finally, just got to move over the router and see if we can. And if that works, that'll be the first thing I'm testing tomorrow. Yeah, was he the guy at the hotel?
Jeff Puckett died recently.
Wait.
Method. He worked for BM. Jeff L was her secret lover.
What do you mean her secret lover? I thought she was dating this other guy. What are you talking about? That was the guy that she was dating? Is Jeff the guy that she was dating and they wanted to be together? And he worked for Barry? Oh, man. Man, I forgot so much of it. It's been so long. I mean, so she dated two guys named Jeff? So Humanimal's not correct up there? Or what are you guys saying? I don't know. Yes, Jeff was her boyfriend, but he has been cleared. Yeah. So the guy that worked for him is not the same person, right? Okay. What do you mean he is correct? Okay. So another Jeff was the boyfriend, but the one that worked for him is a different Jeff. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. Was Jeff the one at the hotel then? He was kind of like there were some interviews with him and stuff like that. Is that correct? Okay. Good night, Paulette Leonard. All right. Well, cool, man. Let's maybe we can go over this document more. I'm just trusting that it's accurate. It looks like somebody put a lot of time into it. So maybe we go over this and try to find. Let's look up some timelines and then interweave this together. Are there any documents like the probable cause document? I feel like we went over that at one point. The probable cause. So if anybody has that, send me a PDF of that. I think maybe tomorrow we're gonna have to dig back into this a little bit. But if you guys missed the beginning of the show, I'll show you one more time how we located the crime scene. It's always interesting for people to see how I do it anyways. So there's photographs that were taken, and let's see. So this is the one I originally used right here. I was looking at this, and I like to use for references the mountain range. So I came down, and I wasn't really sure at first because it was, I was just looking for an intersection with a stop sign. So I went down to this area here, and I was looking around and really couldn't see the mountain range that I needed, and it doesn't match. There's no stop sign where you would think and everything. So then I think I just kept checking each intersection, and then at one point I was like down here, right at this one, and this one looked sort of good, I think, because it had a stop sign on that side of the road, But then this part didn't match, but I was looking around, and this one doesn't even have, you can't see the mountain range either. And then it was down, I think I was down here too, right down here I had one. And then I was looking over at the mountain range, and then I saw something that looked like the right place. And it's right there. You see how that has that flat section, goes down, and then there's a mountain right over here, and then this, but I could see by this mountain, it wasn't really working perfectly. In fact, I think it was missing, I don't know, on this one it's hard to tell, like you see that little peak there, and then that goes like that. But let's see, where was that? That's the wrong one there. Gotta go back up to here. And so I just kept checking. Now I knew I was getting close because of the way it was laid out there. And then basically looking at that, I think there was times where I was just looking from the road, maybe, like this one, for example. And you're just looking at each intersection with the stop signs. You know, that one obviously wasn't right. And the mountain range just kept sort of moving a little bit. And then eventually I could tell which direction I needed to go based on the mountains. And then I went right to this intersection here. And then I turned around and I was zoomed in here. And on the other one, you could only see this mountain. There's supposed to be 2 peaks there. There was only one on the one that I showed you a minute ago. And then looking at this one, once I could see that and then lined it up with this image, I mean, it's absolutely nuts. I mean, it looks like it was taken by the same camera when you go like that, right? I mean, it's literally identical. I mean, you could do an overlay probably about like that, and look at how absolutely perfect each one of the elements line up right there. And once I saw that, then I knew for certain that this stop sign right here is correct. There's also, in one of the other photographs, a dead end sign, which is right there. And the dead end sign is near where the crime scene was. So it's somewhere right around in this area here where the individual pulled over, dug a shallow grave, and put her body into that. So there you go, everybody. There you go. And that's how you do it. Takes a while, though. It's sort of like you keep trying different areas, and then you look at other elements, and you can see that, okay, it's got to be this way because that foreground mountain would rotate, and that's how you do it. That's how I do it, and I think it works when you don't have an address. So I've even found houses before where they go, well, but you have a wide shot of a mountain range, and you can find that. Yeah, it's right there. There was a shallow grave, and her body there was predation on her body. Right. So there you go. All right. Well, there you go, everybody. That's going to do it for this show tonight. Thank you on this one for all of your guys' generosity. Definitely, maybe we'll try to get 1,500 into that fund. We'll see how it goes. So Sandra E. Graham with a cat eye, then Kathy Friedenmaker, Mama 457 Rose, Christy Kazi, Olivia, Rebecca Blum, somewhere over, Mike S. Let's see. You know what's not on here is that really big one up there. So I'll say thanks to Jody William for the very generous super chat there. Didn't show up in there, but it's also Miles Ago, Lexella, and Humanimal. Yeah. And, again, everybody put out some positive vibes. I mean, she, just sort of like for the family of Gen H, Yeah, it's like, ugh. Wow, I'm checking my email too. And thanks earlier to, there's actually, so it's Jennifer Pearson, Susan Bell, Miss Angels, Paulette Leonard, and Doris on PayPal. Thank you. Yeah, so Jennifer Hamrick was her name. She passed away at 8 in the morning. She was I consider her a good friend. I mean, we talked. In the last month and a half we talked. Emailed for a lot longer than that. But I just felt so bad for her. She tried so hard. I think that's what makes it hardest, is that she's such a nice person. She wanted to live really bad, tried everything she could possibly do. She was optimistic, even when I called her on the 17th, either the 16th or 17th, while I was driving to Indiana. But it didn't sound good, and it sounded like they were just making her comfortable at that point. But she still had hope. You know, that just bugs the shit out of me. You know, there's a lot of really crappy people in the world, and you know, it's actually kind of similar to my brother. My brother was one of those people that when he was in the room, he just wanted to be in the same room with them. You know, like just him being in the room made it good to be in the room. And so it's like, why do those people die young like that? You know, it's garbage. And then today I called over there yesterday, didn't get an answer, called today again, and her father answered. I knew immediately that was bad. And then I talked to the mother. She absolutely loved, me and the channel. I mean, she just thought I was, it's sort of humbling to think somebody so great like that really liked me. And she loved all the freaks, and we were just like, we lost one of the good ones, Lost one of the good ones. But we'll make a big difference in her name and Sasmare and Stephen Bashir's. And for anyone else out there who's a freak that passes away, I mean, when you have thousands of people watching, and obviously people just realize that we're going to be, put together this scholarship fund for, we'll still work through the kinks, but I'm going to just keep loading it up with money, and then we'll figure it all out and start giving money to people that need it. But you got to get started now, right? So it's going to be awesome. And thank you guys for being who you all are, and being so supportive of the channel that allows us to do awesome things like that and make a difference. Our channel makes a huge difference out there, and it's all because of you guys. I know the economy isn't great and everything, but I appreciate your support regardless. So, all right, you guys, thank you very much. We will see you tomorrow. All right, hopefully back in the new, not back in the new office for the first time. That'd be pretty cool. I don't know though. I'm not sure. I got to check out the monitor situation. I have 4 monitors now, but I'm not sure they all use the same connection type. So we'll see how it goes. All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. I appreciate all your great comments about Jennifer. Jen H is what you guys knew her by, but her real name is Jennifer Hamrick. And that's it. I'm sure her name will be brought up in the future multiple times, but really feel bad for the parents. Her mom is exactly like her. Awesome, great parents to raise a child like that. Alright guys, we'll see you tomorrow. And as I always say, everybody, until next time, be safe out there. Alright, and let's all be nicer. I'll give it a shot, man. I want to be more like her. You know, the Gen H happiness badge. I mean, it's like a person in so much agony is so kind to everybody else. How in the hell is that even possible? Alright, you guys. See you later. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, plug rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Wait, are you trying to jump in there, Mary Lou?
Yeah, I'm gonna miss Gen H. She was so cool.
Well, she liked you too, Mary Lou. Gen H loved you, Mary Lou. Interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pector. With all respect, y'all.
I'm gonna miss her too. Hey, that's cool, John Boy.
I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send you on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody? Talk to you later.